China, arguably the manufacturing capital of the world, is currently struggling with an energy shortage. During October of this year, the country announced they need to mine and burn more coal, even though it had previously committed to reduce emissions in order to prevent climate change. What this suggests is that the need for electricity is currently greater than the decision to reduce emissions. Why this is, and what the implications are for China and even the rest of the world, is what we will be discussing in today's video. Power outages are nothing new to China, where there have been several over the years. But what is happening in China now is much worse than just occasional power outages. The current power shortage in China is affecting industry and households alike, and it looks like it will challenge the country's status as a reliable manufacturing base. But for a country that is considered the largest emitter of greenhouse gases, the question is why it is in its current position. Although the country produces a lot of greenhouse gases, it has been actively trying to reduce its coal consumption in recent years. In fact, Beijing had a goal of being carbon neutral by 2060. To that end, the government has taken steps to reduce coal production. So they really tried, and it looked like their efforts were bearing fruit, especially during the pandemic when borders were closed and exports stopped. Many countries have relaxed their foreclosure policies, and the demand for Chinese goods has literally skyrocketed. And to meet all this demand, they need more energy, much more. But then, factories are not the only users of power. Households need them too. But there isn't enough, especially considering that coal production has been reduced in order to reduce greenhouse emissions, hence the current energy shortage. The situation is disastrous, and the Chinese government is eager to remedy it. The Chinese government is trying to improve the country's energy supply with hasty reopenings of coal mines and power plants. Even those that were closed for repairs are to be reopened to improve the country's supply of coal and electricity. The Chinese government has also ordered the banks to provide as many affordable loans as possible to the coal sector. Additionally, the Chinese government is also maxing tax incentives available for the sector. The idea is not only to boost the supply of coal from the coal mines and plants, but also to encourage more people to work in the coal mining sector. This situation showed the world that the country gobbles up energy, and most of it comes from coal. Statistics have shown that China is by far the world's largest emitter of greenhouse gases, because of its heavy reliance on coal. Even the country's earlier attempts to reduce its reliance on coal consumed huge amounts of coal, and that doesn't take into account more recent attempts to generate more energy through greater use of coal. It looks like the country is practically at a standstill right now, because there is still no solid alternative energy source being used in the country. That said, how exactly had this energy shortage issue affected China's economy? Well, everybody knows that the Chinese factories were some of the worst hit financially by the pandemic. However, it looks like the current energy shortage is yielding about the same results as the pandemic for Chinese factories. Official figures say that in September of 2021, activities in Chinese factories shrank to their lowest since February 2020. That said, the economic implication of the energy shortage in China is as bad as it was when the pandemic started. Forecasts for the country's economic growth are currently quite low for a country like China, and almost 50% of the country's individual activities have been affected by power shortages. While the government is really trying to get more households and factories on stable power supply, it looks like, at least for the economy, things might get even worse before they get better. The high demand for electricity in winter is an indicator of this. And when you combine that with the fact that the end of the year celebrations, like Christmas, are approaching, you realize that the demand for electricity will increase even further. Of course, this is not just a problem for China, but a problem for the whole world, or at least for those parts of the world that are dependent on imports from China. If China has problems producing enough to even meet its own needs, you can imagine how that would affect other countries. With the increase in coal production and the reduction in electricity consumption that the government is currently advocating, China will come out of this situation. When that will be and how much damage will have been done by then is the question that cannot be answered now. It could do China good to take this crisis as an opportunity to step up in its efforts to research and implement alternative energy sources. The initial idea of being carbon neutral is laudable, but it is already clear that reducing coal consumption alone is not sustainable. So what do you think about the current energy shortage in China? Let us know in the comment section. Hit the like button, subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell for more videos. See you soon.